nested for each concept. Okay, right. The topic is nested for each. Okay, in Azure Data Factory, guys, we don't have any options to add nested for each concept. Means inside for each, if you want to try to add one more for each, we don't have that option. Nested for each actually not supported Azure Data Factory pipeline, but even though we can achieve, but in different way. Okay, so implement the nested for each pipeline, and here my intention is I'm planning to create one storage account, guys. Okay, I'm planning to create one storage account. In the storage account, let me create the storage account. In the storage account, let me maintain the bronze and silver container. Okay, so I will let you know the purpose of nested for each concept. I don't want this data protections and all. Let me create the storage accounts, encryption, review, create. And let me create the data factory. Data factory. If you want, you can create the keyword. You can store that sensitive information. Something nested for each data factory, something. Try to maintain the lab into one region, one resource group. Create. Right. Let me launch the data factory. In storage account, planning to create bronze container. Requirement is in the bronze container. For example, I have let me maintain multiple folders: customer folder, employee folder, sales folder. Okay, I have 3 folders. Right? Each and every folder, let me maintain some sample files here. Data, customer. Okay, and one file is sufficient. If you want, you can upload multiple files. Customer folder, employee folder, sorry, employee file. All files are actually related to CSV file. And sales. I don't have any sales data. Sales. Let me upload some product data. Okay. Right, your wish. If you want to upload multiple files, your wish. You can upload it. Let me upload a few files here. Okay. Do something. Okay, right. So here planning is whatever the branch contain the folders. Inside folder, I have multiple files. Okay, multiple files. Here requirement is we need to move this entire folders with the data. Multiple folders with the data. Okay, we need to copy the data from bronze to silver. If you want, you can create silver layer, or else we can dynamically we can create the silver layer. Your wish. Your wish means here our intention is we need to move the folders, and with respect to the whatever the folder having the inside files, that data also we need to move it. Folder with the child items. Folder with the inside folder files, we need to move from one container to another container, from bronze to silver. Bronze to silver. Okay. So this is our intention. So scenarios is how to copy data from ADLS gen to bronze container to silver container. So here actually planning to create two pipelines. One is master pipelines and child pipelines, because here we are trying to implement the nested for each pipeline. But unfortunately, in Azure Data Factory, we don't have any options to add inside for each. We don't have any options to add one more for each. Right? So the reason is for each activity is going to take the folders. At the very first time, customer folder, next time employee folder, next time sales folder. Right? One by one iteration. But here, each and every folder, for example, if you take the for each, it will take customer. But inside we have multiple files. Means if you want to iterate the inside folder, we need one more for each activity. Inside for each, we need to take one more for each activity to iterate the inside files. Right? Parent for each purpose is to iterate the folders, one by one folders. Child for each, inside for each, if you are planning to maintain one more for each, right? The child for each purpose is to iterate the inside folder files. Okay. But in Azure Data Factory, we don't have that capability for achieving the nested for each. Nested for each means for each inside another for each. We don't have that capability. For this reason, here I'm planning to create a two pipeline. One pipeline, master pipeline. Second pipeline, child pipeline. Master pipeline, it will take the folders. Child pipeline actually take the files. Right? So here we need to establish the relation between master pipeline to child pipeline. Master pipeline actually take the folders. Child pipelines actually take the files. Means here we need to provide the relation between master to child. Means we are calling the child pipeline into master pipeline. We are calling the child pipeline files into the master pipeline folder, so that we can retrieve the folder data as well as inside files data. So that we need to do, right? That process we can achieve through the nested for each. We can call it as a nested for each. Hope you got it right. Okay. So how to pass parameters from master pipeline to child pipeline? So here we need to create a parameters. We need to pass the parameters under whatever the child pipeline. We are going to create the parameters. That parameters we are going to pass to the master pipeline. Okay. Please watch the video multiple times, guys, either 5 times or 10 times. This is the one of the very confusion topic in data factory point of view, nested for each. Okay. Next, third scenario is how to call one pipeline from another pipeline. ADF does not support nested for each actually here, but how we can achieve it. Okay. So here I'm planning to add the get metadata activity for each activity, execute pipeline activity, copy activity. Right? We need to add these activities into the master pipelines as well as child pipeline. Okay. So see, uh, so for example, this raw means bronze layer having the folders like customer, EMP, transactional, sales. So each and every like folder having sub files. Okay. Here intention is we need to move this folder with the files into the silver layer. But here is whatever the customer1.csv, customer2.csv, customer3.csv, right? So in silver layer, I want to maintain the different naming convention. For example, instead of customer1.csv, I want to maintain like a custom year, like month, sorry, year, like month, date, year, like the way I want to maintain. Okay, month, date, year, or is year, month, date, evaluation. So each and every file, I want to attach the year, month, date format. Year, month, date format with respect to the each and every file with respect to the folder. So whatever the folders which is present under the bronze layer custom EMP transaction, inside whatever the folder having the sub files, right? I'm planning to rename the attach the each and every file name. At the end, I'm planning to attach the year, month, date. Okay, this is my intention. So our design is we need to design master pipeline and child pipeline. So one pipeline, master pipeline, second pipeline, child pipeline. In the master pipeline, I'm planning to take the get metadata activity. If I use the get metadata activity, in the get metadata activity, there is an option called child items, right? Sorry. If you use the child items, right? Here we are getting the folders only. Here we are getting the only folders, not inside files. Okay. Next, I'm going to take the ForEach activity. ForEach means there is a relation between we are going to provide the get metadata to ForEach, right? Whatever the get metadata activity producing the output, that output actually helps to the ForEach activity as an input. That relationship we need to provide it, right? But in ForEach, our main intention is inside ForEach, we are planning to add one more ForEach. The reason is one more ForEach actually iterate the one by one files from the respective folder. But unfortunately, Azure Data Factory does not support the nested ForEach. Nested ForEach. That is the reason in the master pipeline under ForEach activity, here I'm going to take the one more activity called execute pipeline activity. So the purpose of this execute pipeline activity means we have one more child pipeline. This child pipeline, first I'm going to take the get metadata activity. This get metadata activity is going to get the each and every folder inside the files we are going to get with the help of get metadata activity. Inside EMP, we are going to get these file names. Inside the sales, we are going to get the file names. Okay. In the child pipeline, if you use the get metadata activity, we are getting the files. But in master pipeline, with the help of get metadata activity, here we are getting folders. Master pipeline get metadata activity, we are getting folders. Child pipeline get metadata activity, we are getting files. Okay. In child pipeline, next I'm going to take the one ForEach activity. So here also we need to establish the relation between get metadata activity to ForEach activity. Get metadata activity producing the output actually helps to the ForEach activity as an input. Right. So inside ForEach, I'm planning to take the copy activity to copy the these files from bronze to the silver. So before copying the files, we need to copy the with respect to the folder also, right? Folder also, right? So that is the reason whatever the child pipeline having the activities, we are calling this child pipeline into the master pipeline under the execute pipeline activity. The purpose of execute pipeline activity is we are calling entire child pipeline into the master pipeline under ForEach. So now this main ForEach having the entire child pipeline. This main master pipeline get metadata activity, we are getting the folder. This main master pipeline having the ForEach activity with the help of the execute pipeline activity, we are calling the entire child pipeline. Now, entire child pipeline purpose is here we are getting the files. Inside ForEach with the help of execute pipeline activity, we are getting the files, right? Now, finally, we are getting the folder with files or not? Can you please confirm?
Yes.
Right? So this is our main agenda. Nested ForEach. Nested ForEach. Okay. Right. Folders. Okay, fine. Now it's time to go with the data factory. Let me create the linked service. Source is Gen2. So LS, we have only one storage account, right? Azure ADLS Gen 2. Select the right subscription, storage account name, click on test connection. If you want, you can create the keyword. No worries. Okay, right. So only one link could service because source and destination both are ADLS Gen 2 only. Right. Next, go to the tab. Let me create the pipeline. So the first pipeline name is called master pipeline. Okay. Let me create one more pipeline. That is child pipeline. Okay. Now have two pipelines. Inside master pipeline, as per this picture, we need to add the get metadata activity, right? Get metadata activity. Okay. Click on settings. Here we need to create the data set. And as per this picture, we need to get the folders, right? So under the branch, whatever the folders available here, right? We need to get that folders information into the here. Okay. Click on data set. Here we need to create a data set Gen 2. The data which is available in the form of CSV data set. Okay. So master get metadata activity. Get metadata activity. Let me add the link to services. Click on branch. Click on OK. Right. I'm not going to give any hard code information, guys. So we need to get the folders dynamically. With the help of dataset parameters, we need to get the folders dynamically. Click on OK. So click on plus new. Here we need to add the child items. Here we need to add the child items. Okay. Click on debug. Let's see the output. Okay. So get metadata executed successfully. Okay. Let me check the output. Now, can you please confirm? Here we are getting the folder names, right? Child items. Name is customer. Type is folder. So here the name is customer, right? Folder or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So copy this one and paste. If you want, you can paste it in somewhere. Okay. So as of now, we are getting only folders. As of now, we are getting only folder. As per this picture, we need to create for each activity, right? So let me add the for each activity. Initial beginning time, okay. But once if you are entering into the parameters, like pipelines parameter creation, right? Definitely you may feel some confusion. Okay. So try to watch the video multiple times. So click on settings, go with the sequential. So get metadata activity, whatever the get metadata activity producing the output, that output actually helps to the for each activity as the input. Means now we are getting the folders. For each is going to iterate one by one, right? First time customer folder, second time EMP folder, third time sales folder. Okay, right. But here we are getting only folders, not inside files, not inside files. Okay. So let me provide the relationship. So get metadata activity producing the output which is available in the form of child items. Click on OK. Right. Okay. So if you want, you can try to add the ForEach activity. So did you see any ForEach inside? I'm in main ForEach. If I'm trying to add one more ForEach activity into the main ForEach. So here we don't have any option. The reason is Azure Data Factory does not support nested ForEach. So that is the reason. Here I'm planning to create two pipelines. One is master pipeline, second one is child pipeline. Okay. In child pipeline, we are trying to get the folder with respect to the files. That information we are going to pass to the master pipeline. Okay. As per this picture, right now we are in master pipeline. Inside ForEach, we need to add one more activity. The activity name is called execute pipeline activity. Execute pipeline activity. The purpose of this execute pipeline activities means we are calling child pipeline into the master pipeline. Child pipeline into the master pipeline. Okay, right. Just I added execute pipeline only. Okay. Here we need to see invoked pipelines. Here there is an option called invoked pipelines. Means here we need to add the child pipeline. Here we need to add the child pipeline. Okay. So first part is done. First part is done. Okay, not completely. Some part is done. Now it's time to design the second part, that is child pipeline. Go to the child pipeline. Go to the child pipeline. Here main thing is we need to create a parameter, guys. Here main thing is we need to create a parameters. Okay, pipeline parameters we need to create. That is a very important. Okay, parameters creation is very important. Okay, so right now I'm in child pipeline. Right here I'm planning to create, okay, one parameter, one pipeline parameter, one pipeline parameter. The pipeline parameter name is, for example, pp only. pp folder name. pp folder name, because we need a folder, right? Actually we need a folder. Once if you are getting the folder, next we can fetch the files. Next, we can fetch the files. That is the reason here I am creating one pipeline parameter. The pipeline parameter name is called pp folder name. Your wish. The naming convention is your wish. Right? Fine. Anyway, our master pipeline actually calling the child pipeline, right? Right? Our in child pipeline, I just created a pipeline parameter, guys. Pipeline parameter is different. In the white space, I just created pipeline parameter. Okay, but in few minutes back, inside master pipeline, we have execute pipeline activity. Under the invoked pipeline, I just add the child pipeline. If I add the child pipeline, whatever the parameter created here, right? That parameter actually we can able to see in this location also. Means whatever the child pipeline we created a parameters, pipeline parameters, that parameters actually reflected to the here as well, because we are calling the child pipeline to the master pipeline. We are calling the child pipeline into the master pipeline, right? But in master pipeline, if you use the get metadata activity, if you run this get metadata activity alone, actually it is giving some output, right? Right? So customer is a folder. Okay, fine. Type is folder, but cust EMP sales actually related to name only, right? Name, name, name. Anyway, type is folder. Okay, we are sure type is folder. But actually, cust actually related to name. So you can treat as a one column something name, right? Cust name, EMP name, sales name, right? Here we need a folder. Here we need to pass the folder information, right? All this folder information actually tagged to the name, right? Name or not? Please confirm. If you are not responding, please drop the call, guys. Inside ForEach, execute pipeline. So here we need to pass the name. Okay. Right now, I'm in ForEach activity. Right now, I'm in ForEach activity. ForEach activity always going to talk about in the form of item. Item. Okay. Item dot. Right now, I'm in execute pipeline. Here we need to pass the item dot name. Item dot this name. This name. Okay. That's it. That's it. Okay. So again, I'm repeating in child pipeline, I just created one pipeline parameter. That pipeline parameter automatically reflected into the master pipeline under the execute pipeline, because this execute pipeline actually calling the child pipeline. Whatever the child pipeline having, the pipeline parameters also actually reflected to in this location, right? In the master pipeline with the help of get metadata activity, we are getting the folders, right? These folders actually related to the name. So that is the reason here we need to pass the item dot name. Item dot name means we are in under ForEach. ForEach always going to talk about in the form of item. Item dot name. Okay. So this is the way first we need to implement it. So this is the way we need to first implement it. Guys, main logic actually we are gonna perform the child pipeline only. Child pipeline only we are gonna perform the main logic. As per this picture, right? We need to take one more get metadata activity, right? Under the child pipeline, we need to take one more get metadata activity to get the files, to get the inside files. So as of now, we are getting the folders with the help of this pipeline parameter, right? Here we are getting the folders, right? Item dot name. For example, item dot name means first time we are getting the customer folder. Next time we are getting the employee folder. Next time we are getting sales folder. As of now, we are getting the folders, right? Whatever the folders we are getting, right? Inside folders, whatever the files which is present, we need to get that files, right? For this reason, go to the child pipeline. Here we need to add the get metadata activity to get that files, to get that files. As of now, we are getting the folder item.name, customer EMP, sales or a transaction. As of now, we are getting the folders. Now it's time to get the folders, sorry, files. Click on settings. Let me create the data set. So our data actually, which is available in Gen 2 only, right? In the branch, we as of now, we are getting folders. Now it's time to get the files. Now it's time to get the files. With the help of pipeline parameter, as of now, we are getting the folders. That pipeline parameter information we just pass to the main pipeline. The pipeline parameter is actually created under the chain. Okay, right, CSV. Continue. Let me maintain some data set naming convention. Get metadata activity. We are in child pipeline. Take the same link to service. Okay, right. So ds underscore get metadata activity underscore child pipeline. So this is the way you need to pass the naming convention your wish. Your wish. Generally in real-time projects, we used to follow the naming convention. Okay. So let me maintain the first row as header as it is. Click on the browse, click on the branch. Okay. I want to get these folders dynamically, cust EMP sales. Okay. I'm not going to select any folders. Let me click on OK. In this location, I want to get the cust EMP sales. In this file names, I want to get the whatever the cust having the files, right? I want to get these files. Okay. Everything we need to get the dynamically. Everything we need to get the dynamically. Okay. Click on OK. So here we need to provide the directory, right? Okay. So go to the data set. Sorry. Right. Go to the child pipeline. Here, let me create the parameters, because few minutes we created the data set parameter, right, for this one. So here we need to get the under the branch, we need to get the folders. Inside folder, we need to get the files, right? So for getting the folders, for getting the files, we need to create a data set parameters, right? Let me create the data set parameters. For example, ds file name. So already we are getting the folders. Okay. Anyway, we need files only, right? Okay, no, first let me get the folders first actually. We need to get the folders, go to the connection, click on directory, click on add dynamic content, add this dynamic expression. That's it. Means now we are getting the custom folder, EMP folder, sales folder, transaction folder. With the help of dynamic parameters, here we are getting the folders. Now it's go to the child pipeline. Okay, see, whatever we are creating the data set parameters, now we are able to get here. Here we need to pass the value. Here we need to pass the value. Here main important is, important is, can you please confirm guys? Right now we are in under for each activity or only get metadata activity. Generally, here what we are going to pass item dot value something, right? But right now we are in child pipeline, but here we don't, as of now, we don't have any for each activity. This is the first get metadata activity, guys. This is the first get metadata activity. Okay. Here we need to pass the value, right? Here we don't have any for each activity. This is the first one. This value actually we need to pass as a pipeline parameter, right? Few minutes back we created a pipeline parameter, right? So this folder means we are getting the folders, that's TMP, right? If you get the folders information into the in this section, automatically under the child, if you click on child items, whatever the folders we are getting dynamically custom EMP sales transaction, here we are getting, if you run this get metadata activity, if you select the field list is a child items, now we are successfully get the file names. Okay, main intention is guys, right now we are in child pipeline as per this picture. Right now we are in child pipeline. Right now we are in get metadata activity. See, under the get metadata activity, we need to get the files, right? Files. So, right. So if you want to get the files means we need to pass the first folders. Then only we can get the actual files. Correct or not? For passing that information, here we need to pass the pipeline parameter. Pipeline parameter expression, we need to pass it here. Got it or not?
Yeah.
Click on add dynamic content. The pipeline parameter, this expression we need to add. Dynamic expression. Click on OK. Click on OK. Click on plus new. Here we need to add the child items. Here we need to add the child items. Child items. Okay. Let me execute this get metadata activity. See here it is asking to give the folder name. For example, if I pass the customer folder, for example, if I pass the customer folder means we'll get these two files only. If I pass the EMP folder means it will give the one file. In case if we pass the sales, right, we'll get the only one file. But our intention is dynamically we can fetch the all the folders with respect to the inside files. So that is the reason I'm not going to do anything here. Just click on cancel. Right. Dynamically, we need to get the all the folders. All the folders. Once if you get the all the folders, we are going to pass this all the folders information to the for each activity. As of now, get metadata getting the this get metadata actually going to get the folder. Here we are extracting the files. That information we are going to pass to the for each inside for each purpose is to iterate the one by one file from the which respective folder. For example, here we are getting customer. Inside customer, we have two files. For each activity is going to iterate one by one file. Inside for each, we have a copy activity. For each is going to iterate one file. It will give to the copy activity. Copy actually copy the source to the target. That's it. Okay. Let me create the for each activity. Okay. Here we need to create the for each activity. Okay. Go to the for each activity. Okay. Take the copy and data activity. Right. Here we need to pass the source and sync. Source and sync. And one more thing, I forgot to provide the dynamic expression actually. Click on sequential, add dynamic content, get metadata activity. This one, get metadata activity 1, right? Okay. For metadata activity, child items. Output.child items. Yes, same. Okay. Almost. Master pipeline, child pipeline having the same get metadata activity. Main master pipeline get metadata activity purpose is to get the folders. Child pipeline main reason is to filter the files with respect to the folder, with respect to the folders. Okay. Right. Any questions so far? Before jumping into the ForEach activity, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, fine. Now it's time to go to the inside ForEach. Now we have a copy activity. So here we need to provide the source and sink. Here we need to provide the source and sink. Okay, right. Source is Gen2, right? CSV. So data set ADL Gen2 is my source. Let me take that one, right? Okay, right. Click on OK. Next, even though we need to provide the sink. Before sink, let me create the data set parameters for source. Okay, go to the parameter. Here I'm going to create the parameters for the source. So data set. So one is folder name. One parameter actually related to the file. Okay, we need to get the customer folder. Inside customer folder, we need to get the files. Go to the connection. Here we need to provide the dynamic expression to get that folders. Okay, so even though we need to get the files as well. Okay, click on OK. That's it. Now go to the child pipeline. Here we need to provide the expression. Here we need to provide the expression. But yeah, as of now, here we are able to see only parameter, only one parameter. No worries. Clear. And let me select the right one. Now we are able to see these parameter names. Here we need to pass the values. Here we need to pass the value. Okay. Click on add dynamic content. Okay. We are created pipeline parameter, right? Let me use the same pipeline parameter here. Okay. Let me use the same pipeline parameters. Means we need to get the folders, right? So here we are talking about source. Source, we need to get the folders. Customer folder, employee folder, sales folder, transaction folder. So folders exactly we are getting through the pipeline parameter only, right? Few minutes back we created, right? Pipeline parameter. This one. With the help of this one only, we are getting the main folders actually. Okay. That information actually I'm going to pass into this value section. Here I'm not going to give any values like for each item dot value something. Here I'm directly passing the folders with respect to the pipeline parameter. I'm directly pass the customer EMP sales transaction something. Okay. Right. Folder is fine. Next, next we need to provide the file names. Click on value, add dynamic content. So take the for each item dot, let me take the name. Inside folder, I want to take the files. Okay. Right. Fine. Source setup is ready. Source setup is ready. Now it's time to design the sink as well. Now it's time to design the sink. My intention is in sink, whatever we are trying to copy the data, the files actually we need to provide the extension as well. Means maybe I want to provide some extra extension like a year, month, a date. Okay, for example, customer, year, month, date dot CSV. Employee, year, month, date dot CSV. Like the way I want to maintain. Okay, right. Let me create the sync data set. Sync is ADLS Gen2, CSV, DS, Gen2, sync, input service. Here, as of now, I have only one branch container. If you want, you can create the silver, or else you can just pass here as well. No worries. If you want, you can provide it here as well. Dynamically, automatically, it will create it. Silver. Okay. Right. For example, silver. Okay. So we don't have any import schema, right? Click on none. Don't need to select anything. Right. And inside silver layer, I will maintain folder with respect to the files. Okay. Here folders, here we are getting files. Try to select none only, don't select from connection store means it will throw the error because dynamically we are getting right. Click on OK. Okay. Now it's time to create the dataset parameters for sync as well. Go to the parameter. Here I'm planning to create parameters. For example, DS folder name, same DS file name. In destination also, in silver, we need to create folders, first EMP sales transaction. We need to maintain files, right? For this reason, here I'm creating dataset parameters. Go to the connection, directory, folder name, file. That's it. But here thing is, okay, fine. As of now, okay, fine. But in silver layer, I want to create customer EMP sales transaction. Each and every file, I want to add some extension like a like what I can say, year. Let me highlight this one. I need something like this. For example, cust 2025 month to date month dot CSV. Like the way I want to maintain each and every file name to attach the timestamp. Okay. So I want to attach the timestamp. So for this reason, already I prepared one script. Copy this one. Just watch the video multiple times so that you are in a position to understand this concept. See, for example, my file name is order.csv. This in branch, my file name is order.csv. I want to maintain the file in this manner, like orders underscore year, month, date, something. Okay. Where is dynamic expression? Okay, right. Content data set.ds file, CSV or something. Copy this one. Remove this one, paste it here. Okay. Dataset DS filing. Actually, this part actually comes in this place. Right. If you don't want space, you can just remove it. Click on OK. Approach is same, guys. Let's see the output. So here we need to pass the folder names. Folder's name actually comes under the pipeline parameter only, right? Always pass the pipeline parameters folders. So here file names actually comes for each actually going to iterate the file names, right? Name. Take this one. Click on. Okay. That's it, guys. As of now, we did the pipeline. One is master pipeline. Second one is child pipeline. Master pipeline having the only get metadata activity for each activity. Inside we have execute pipeline activity. This execute pipeline actually calling the child pipeline activity. Here we are creating the pipeline parameter. The purpose of pipeline parameter is to get the folders dynamically. Child get metadata activity purpose is to get the to filter the file names from the with respect to the folder. For each activity is going to iterate the file names. It will give to the copy activity. Copy activity is going to connect the source. So here we are getting the folders. Inside folder, we are trying to copy the files and we are trying to load the data into destination. In the destination also, I want to maintain folder, customer, EMP, sales, transaction. Inside, I want to maintain the files. Okay. These files actually, I need to attach the year, month, date formats and all. Okay. Click on validate. Fine. Click on publish all. Publish. So this is the way we need to implement it. Nested for each. But unfortunately, Data Factory does not support nested for each. This is the way we need to implement the nested for each concept. Click on debug. I will pass down information, right? So,
మాస్టర్ పైప్లైన్ డీబగ్ చేయాలండి.
sorry, I need to debug the master pipeline. Right? Sorry, thank you. Sorry, got it. We need to debug the master pipeline. If you debug the master pipeline, we are getting the child pipeline. Simultaneously, I'm watching the kid. Sorry for that one. This is nested for each, guys. Next session, I will explain the tumbling window trigger. Okay. Okay. Execute pipeline actually executed 3 times. The reason is we have 3 folders, right? Let me go to the Here, refresh. Silver layer created. See, folders also created. Okay. See, it starts with file name underscore year month date. See, year month date. If you want to replace, even though this name also we can replace it. Your wish. But anyway, every file name here we are attaching the year month date. Even though if you want, you can attach the hours, minutes, seconds also. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. So next session, I will explain the tumbling window clicker concept. Thank you.